Continuing with the live stream I did yesterday on C++. As you know, I got as far as creating some, as you can see here, just expand it. I'm creating some sort of space objects, i.e. planets, galaxies, planets, moons, comets, stars, etc. that I'm going to use to create some sort of game or some sort of visualization. And I haven't fully decided yet, to be honest. I'm also doing it to get some practice in C++ for an exam I'm having soon. And I've created these various objects, these constructors, and I created a couple of public methods to get the position, which returns a tuple of the actual position of the star, but of the object. And I'm going to do more stuff today. Add to this, create the actual subclasses themselves. If any of you are interested in joining on, because I am using StreamYard, so it's good for live chats. Although I won't be talking all the time. I'll be doing some coding as well. You can make a comment in the YouTube chat, and then I can put. And if you've got a headset or mobile phone, it works pretty well. Click on the link, and then if there's space, because I can only allow up to 8 to 6 people at a time, including myself, I'll add you into a chat, and then we can have a discussion about testing, development, tech, life, whatever you like. So let's carry on, shall we? I just got to post a quick message. I've just got to share this link to my bits of social media. Give me 5 seconds. I think it might crash as well. Technology, eh? Can't live with it, can't live without it. Let's try that again. While it's doing, I'm just going to carry on with this. So I decided I'd add a few more private methods. Private variables, private members to my class. I came up with a few more last night after I finished the live stream. So I'm going to do float temperature or surface temperature. Maybe I should be a bit more consistent with my naming. Because every planet's got some sort of surface temperature, even those gas giants. What else? Even the sun has a surface temperature, of course, about 6,000 degrees Kelvin. Actually, I'll do. Now, I don't know if I want to do. I was originally going to do orbit duration, but stars don't really have orbits unless they go around. Unless they go. Well, actually, they go around the galactic center. That's a good point. Galaxies don't, but they're not part of this. Actually, I'll leave it out. And what I'll do is I'll do this. I'm actually going to, as I said yesterday, I'm actually going to include a template. Do this as a class template. Because I want to include a Let's actually have a reference or a pointer that points to. I'll do it as a reference that points to a parent object. So if you're a planet, your parent object would be the star you're going around. If you're a moon, the parent object would be the planet you're going around. Can moons have moons? That's a good question. I actually don't think so. And the parent will be the object that you orbit around. And if I do include that, then I can put this. I was going to call it year, but actually it should be orbital period, because most objects, especially moons, orbit around their planets fairly quickly. I mean, and like comets, they may not even, if they're on parabolic single visit orbits, they only orbit once. So now I've got to change these. So that's now float. I mean, I could have, if everything inherits from a space object, I could have replaced T with space object. But now I'll leave it as T. It might be some other object that's not a space object I want to put in parent. Don't want to. Oh, that'll do. Do I have to put now? Do I have to put template in each of those? Or maybe if I return it. Okay. Okay, that's still position. So now I have to put float T in here. This is the main, want a better word, main constructor. Don't like this wrapping particularly. Mass surf temp. And that'll be parent. And then float will be, is it orbital period? Probably not very consistent with these namings. I said that last night. Maybe I should just get a name and just stick to it. Mass. That's not right. I bet you I've cocked it up somewhere and I made an error. Oh, I need to do this. I'll have to do it for all of them, maybe, apart from. That's right. Mass. A good question is, what do I pass in if it doesn't, for this one here, which is the default constructed, I put like null object, isn't it? For T. Oh, I'll quickly try to get to it. Oh, I've not called it parent here. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I've not put the. I know I've done. So that's fine, I think. I'm sure the only reason I do these live streams is just so I can feel better about talking to myself. Try and tidy this up a bit so it doesn't look so, at some point, so crap, to be honest, and slightly unreadable. That'll do, I think. Yeah. I think that'll fit at the end. No, it won't. Don't particularly want that to extend to 3 lines. That'll do. It's quite neat. Okay, so now so I have to pass in T, don't I? So that's a bit annoying because I now have to. I really want that. Just a second. Well, I do, but I need to know the parent, don't I? So I'll have to do it. That's a good question. If I don't know what goes in there initially, do I need to have that as a template? Design problems. Don't mind me. Let's be honest, I'm not great at templates. I've hardly ever practiced them in other languages. I just drew a load of things I don't know. So masses and T, surface temperature. For the default constructor, I'll leave it as 0. Parent, null. What is it? It's not really a point. Can I pass in null in there? Will that work? Considering it's a. I don't know. Because this is that's a reference. I'm passing a null pointer into there. We turn some weird error. Let me just Google this. The concern is that it'll say it's the wrong type, or so not quite sure. Could I pass just null for a null reference? Null. Would that work? Where's it? Right, so, and next one is orbital period, which I'll give that as 0. Because these are all floats, you see, so it's better I put a number into them than not. That's the case, maybe. I don't actually need to pass anything in. Oh, I do actually, because actually, maybe if I do that, because I'm not actually passing anything into it. So it doesn't allow argument deduction, so I'm going to do this instead. Guys have done like auto other or something. All right. So I might just do this. Like that. I wonder if this bit of music, I thought about this last night. Because of the copyright strikes they have in YouTube, I'm reluctant to play music where I know except for I know the origin is um, sort of open domain, which kind of leads me to Creative Commons and maybe classical music, maybe mood music or something. I don't know. Apparently, Google's very strict now with its copyright strikes, and it should be. So we've got to keep them within the law, I suppose. And they don't want to get sued either, even though they are loaded. It's better. If I hum music, would that work? I get around it. Excuse me. So if any of you are interested, I posted a video of the Vietnamese quarter of the town I live in, a town called Bankstown, in Australia, in Sydney, Australia. Very interesting little suburb full of nice Vietnamese shops, restaurants, etc. I posted that earlier on today. You should find it in the list. Just check something out. Reading about and message. I mean, null pointer won't work. It's not a pointer. That's why I put null in up there. But I'm wondering if that's right. Oh, that's not the right link. Hold on. So this is a class template. This doesn't necessarily take a class. So that's the same as that basically, but this is a move temp. This is a move constructor, and that's this is a copy constructor. As I found out last night, it doesn't particularly matter because since these currently just store variables, this one, the contents of the copy constructor, so the resources in the space object I pass in here, the right, which is a right value reference. That wouldn't necessarily it won't necessarily affect this, but if this were a standard template library like vector or something, it would empty it. I've done this wrong somewhere. Oh, I don't know. No, I'll change it afterwards. I realize again, I've been rather inconsistent with the naming of my variables. Oh god, where bullets this somewhere, haven't I? Oh, that's all right. So that would still return. Yeah, have I done something wrong here? This is a const. What are these called still? X, Y, Z. Yeah, all right, I understand that. Yeah, these are because I need to put the template argument. You should put anything in there to test it with. I think int, parents and number. Word. It's not really the point. I've just got to do one more thing. For those of you who are watching the recording of this, please just fast forward about 2 minutes. Okay, moving on to just pass this message to myself. I wonder if this is a bit too far away, actually. Toying with changing some of these, changing the setup of my webcam. Sorry, no, it makes me look like a massive forehead. All right, moving back to this. I was a bit slow going at the moment. I apologise for that. A little speed up. I'm wondering what I should put here. I mean, it's just T. I don't have to put a. No, I haven't finished this yet. What am I doing? It says I haven't. This one does not initialize these fields. We're missing one out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I think this means that there are it's either not these values aren't in the same order as the fields I created, or they or I'm missing one out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. Oh, I haven't changed the constructor, maybe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Surely it does. I get that message. I've got the names wrong. Let me see if I can just build it. I mean, it won't run because of this, but I'll try calling it int for now. And then that becomes 9, 10, 11. I mean, this is supposed to be an actual space object or some sort of galaxy, but just to test it, I'm just putting int in as the template. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. L. Oh, right, an L value. Okay. For the 7th argument, which is T parent. All right. Okay. So. Okay. So. If I want an L value, I'll give it an L value. In parent equals 10. Just to show I can do different things. I'll do this. I'll do this so I can pass in a char. It could be a string. I gotta put a string in. I don't know. Maybe. The reason why it says L value is because these numbers here are R value references. They don't really, they're not permanent really. They don't they're not really variables. They're more expressions, and therefore they have to be treated differently when you pass them in as parameters. However, parent char is actually a variable, so. I think this should compile now. at least. Maybe even run. Ooh, it's found an error. Cannot bind non-cont L value reference of type int to an R value of type int. Okay, so which is that? Is that number 39? I know what it is. Let's go. This is go to reference. All right. Declare it now. I've had problems with this before. With how to deal with L and R value references and how to treat references, etc. I don't want to turn it into a. I mean, I could just simply make that other. Sorry, not that one. Trying to think. So that parent is now an L value reference, but it can't bind to 10. Does this work? This is really quite hacky stuff and not very elegant. So I construct a new. Actually, forget that. I'll change this back to an int. Put it both in. See if this works. I actually think that C++ is basically like 20% coding, 30% looking things up, and 50% swearing at error messages. Oh, so null. So you can't pass a null in either. But then again, I've passed it in as a string, haven't I? I mean, do I? No, there's a note. Yep, that's that one. T equals in space object T. All right, so argument 7 is the template I created, which is a template reference, where that's an int. Can't type int to an R value of type int. So I'm passing in a. This is not an R value I'm passing in. That's what it's asking for. That's what I'm giving it. So what have I actually put here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Parent ref is now a reference to parent. Oh, is it passing the null? Or maybe I can. I'm not sure what to do now. I won't take a null. I can't pass a 0 if it's not an int. a reference. Something on Stack Overflow actually that might help. Stack Overflow, sorry. So it doesn't allow. So what you can only pass in integers, enums, pointers to members, references. So if I change this to a pointer, what happens? Then I could potentially pass in null pointer. So if I did, I have to change everything else as well. I want it as a reference, but it ain't gonna happen. I'd imagine. That means here I can do that as do that and get rid of because that'll work. Means that's now pointed to a memory location. Parent goes in there. Parent ref goes in. I'll get rid of this. It doesn't really matter if they're the same. Yes, it's run. But I actually don't know what parent ref equals. So what I'll do is take that out. Next line, I'll do mass is equal to actually what I'll do is I'll implement an OStream operator. I've forgotten how you do, and that means I can just pass that straight into cout. So well, I'll make it virtual, so it can be overridden. In fact, I might have to make, when I turn this into an abstract base class, it'll have to be overridden. Okay. And then I don't have to mess about with having to extract individual bits of data out of it just to display it, and I can get rid of get position as well. Well, get position actually has value outside of that, so I need to overload operator. Operator, I'm going to overload now the which writes out a stream which can be sent to the console or a file or something. Okay, so let's just try this. So, it's input stream. Okay, so it's actually this. I've already got IO stream in there, so it's probably fine. I have to send it as a reference. Operator. I wasn't going to do this operator first, actually, but it might just be easy to write things when I'm debugging. Oh, I need to put it here first. Hold on. So I have to pass an O stream in, which I'll call OS. And there's something else I need to do as well. I have to pass in a const t. I'm not sure why I have to do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the. It passes in the object, the space object. Thank you, CPP reference. I must have. I'm not a massive fan of CPP reference, actually. It says it takes 3 parameters. I'm not sure what the third parameter is. I'm just looking at the help file for OStream. It says it takes a third parameter, but I don't know what parameter it takes. Please remove yourselves for the moment. Has anyone joined the chat? No. I'm all alone. Major hope springs eternal. Just see what members it takes. I have to pass in. So I'm just doing some Googling at the moment. Sorry, I'm doing some just a bit of reading at the moment. Actually, I might just read it here so people can see it. That's not it. I've got 2 monitors up, so I need to do that so I can, because I need to work StreamYard properly. So you just need one item in there? It doesn't say about how you overload it. So I can just pass in one thing, really. Let me just see. That's not what the arrow is. The arrow's up here. Sorry, a bit more reading. So at least taking one operator. They're not overloaded. Well, they are overloaded, but I'm not creating a custom overloaded. They're not creating a custom overloaded operator like I'm doing. A stream extraction. That just says that's right. That's basically what I passed in. I don't know about this mystical third parameter I need. Wouldn't be a help. Oh, it's a binary operator, so it just takes one, is it? Let me just finish this off. Actually, it might be a bit stuck now. I'll have to do a const version of this as well. Otherwise, I won't be able to write out any const version of that of my new space object class. There's probably a trick to this, and I don't know it. Or I did it once actually, because I've forgotten it since then. Can you say me, Mr. Ono Munsen? Ono Unsen. Uzen, sorry. So he's done it as a friend. Which I suppose still works. So if okay, let me do this as a friend. Let me. You don't have to do both, I think. Okay. So that's fine. So I don't write. That's this one here. So I do write out each individual component. So I'll do this. Actually, give me a sec. I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be back in a minute. Did you miss me? Probably not. I can think of England. It's my mug for the day. Sorry about that. Just need to make myself a nice cup of tea. Where were we? Yes. So I've created my O stream operator. And what I need to do now is take this that writes all of it and do something very similar in my code. So oh shit, I've forgotten. I need to put the name of the class of the space object in, because they all have names. I'll come back to that one. Silly me, how didn't I think of that? So you need to do that to dereference it. Oh, I know, I can't do that because it's a friend. See me, so it's actually I actually passed in object. Now, if you pass in an object as a friend, then it can see then the actual internals of the friend method can actually can actually see the private members of that object. It's a bit weird. Probably wouldn't work without it. So that now works. How's it ambiguous? Oh, fine. How's it done in the example? Okie dokie. So it passes. I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Is this the first time I have to be part of the class? Or is there something I've forgotten to do? Really? No, that's fine. And I'll say return OS. At the end. It's really just a function. see if I put. Does that would? Can't imagine it would. You can't put left hand side. You can't put right hand side in first, can you? Right. I think that's what it looks like. I wonder if this works. It's a bit of a hack. I don't like it, but there's actually, isn't there a command called std forward that kind of changes these things? Hold on, let me have a look. Oh, it's not T object. I think you could do that to change things from right hand side to left. I think. Let me just have a look. Oh, I've got that wrong. All right, so it forwards L values as other L values or right L value, or right R values depending on T. So when T is a forwarding reference, the function argument is declared as an R value reference to receive unqualified template parameter. This overload forwards the argument to another function with the value category it had when passing to the calling function. So you pass T and then you pass an arg. Arg's always less value. Arg is always L value. It's basically an array, isn't it? Of input parameters. Okay, so that doesn't allow. Okay, I can get rid of this now because I've come back. Sorry. So that forwards R values as R values, and it will never pass them as L values. That's kind of the opposite of what I want. Do I pass it in as STD move? Because that would pass it as an R value reference. I don't want to wipe out. Well, I can't do that, can I? Because it's an X. This is probably. I don't know. There's got to be a better way of doing this. Oh, it wants an R value as an L value. That won't work. X is an L anyway. That would work. Oh, I'll just do this. I can get rid of that. And I can do the same thing on other lines on the next line. So and then the next one will be object. What's it? Mass. Well, that's a good point. What unit am I going to use for mass? This is, I suppose in the solar system, kilograms work all right. I can always change it. May have to do that as like a mass object that has various units. It's probably like some framework that does it. All right, surface temperature is the next one. This is easier because it'll be in that will work. I'll do it in Kelvin. Because most of the scientific data tends to be shown in Kelvin. Object, and what's the next one? I'll leave that out until I put parent name in. It means int, but I'll leave that out for the moment and just put orbital period. Otherwise, I'll end up having to write the same. It'll just copy this again. Technically, I could put /n in there and it would work, but it seems to be these days that so orbital period would be years, seconds, months. Actually, I could find a way of converting it to seconds, and then you wouldn't. Well, it would be a year in seconds. There's a lot of seconds. I'll just say Earth year. What about stars? They go around the sun. They go around the galactic center, don't they? Okay. So I can get rid of this now, and I can just write. I can get rid of all of that, and I can just write. Oh no, I need to do one thing first. I need to do this again for const, because otherwise I'll never be able to use this overload in the for b const below. Do I need to actually? Is there a const? Maybe I've got this wrong. I'll be getting a lot of things wrong between now and the end of this, so I probably don't really. It's passed in as a variable. As a friend declaration. there's probably no need actually thinking about it. I mean, I could pass that in as a const y. In fact, that's probably a good idea. Because it is a friend, it's not actually touching the class per se. So that should be enough. So here I can just replace that with. I don't even need get position anymore if I just want to check that. So I can get rid of that. I can just put in const. Sorry, b const. I don't need that. And the next one will be just b. I think if this works. If it doesn't, then I'm going to give up and go to the pub. Okay. Actually, this is a bit. I just realised this is a bit. Ooh, it's not actually that at all. It's this. Okay. I'm using the. No wonder I look. It's actually my computer's inbuilt webcam and not the one I wanted to use. So I wonder how this looks now. Hello, back again. Christ, I look like Phil Collins. Okay, there we go. Let me just see this run. So this will print the whole of B const, and that'll print the. Ooh, they don't like this. Something's wrong here. So what? They're all provide private members. Yeah, I know it's private. You should be able to see them inside a friend. There you go. Yeah, another class access private protected members of the class when the friend declaration appears. So that one's in. That's private member. Oh, hold on. I need to build a project and see if that disappears. At least I should be able to see it is a private member. Ooh. Doesn't like that. There's a non-template function. I've got to put it here then, okay. Nope, I don't need to worry about that. Wrong button. It's redundant. Hold on for a minute. Hello again. Sorry about that. Just got a phone call I'd to answer. I'll be on for about another 15 minutes, and I've got to go, I'm afraid. Okay. I'm wondering. So, that friend, I have. It says it declares it as a const. Oh, I don't need these for a start. Those can go. Make sure the function template is already been declared and add. Okay, so. Did I have to do this, really? No. So you do function overloads. I did this when I was doing an assignment, but I've forgotten how it works. So there's an example there. So template type T, overload const foo. Okay, I know what it is. It's a const space object. Make it remain like that. I know what I've done. I'm sure there are people shaking their heads. Will watch this one day and they're like, "Oh, Paul, you're an idiot. God, you're useless," and that's fine. I'm learning. You know. I'll get rid of this. This is just an aide memoir to help me work out what operators I want to overload. I'll be honest. My efforts at doing C++ coding up till now haven't been great. I did 2 assignments. Well, I did 3 assignments for uni. One of them a joint assignment. One of them I haven't got the results back for yet. Another one I screwed up, but that wasn't really my fault. That was it was my fault. But it wasn't to do with C++ per se. It was to do with the fact that it ran too slow. A lot of the tests failed. Another one, and the second one, I got fairly reasonable, like 70% out of it, nearly. And but there are a lot of things I don't understand, like this, for instance, non-template function. Well, it's a template. Unless I have to put the template in there. Hold on. Oh, you do? Silly me. So I just thought it was ludicrous, but you know. Do I have to put the declaration separately? And I can specify it with T. That's a function. See, this is my declaration. So do I need to really Do I really have to forward declare it? See, this one doesn't do that. Yeah. But it puts it inside. But actually, it puts it inside the class declaration. Let me just see if that works here. You know, I've no scruples for putting friends inside the class declaration. It's perfectly all right. Why is it two of them? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take this out. Actually, I think I put it inside the class when I did my assignment, but let me have a look. I don't need that anymore. That can go. It's already part of the class declaration. And that's still friend. Maybe that worked, who knows? I know why, it's because I've removed the what's this called again? It's called a space object. Now it's implemented. Because I'm no longer, because it's outside, I'm no longer prescribing a template to it. Oh, okay. That's a difference of error. One that's probably more easily fixed. Orbit. Stupid naming. I'm at fault for all of this, by the way. Yeah. Yes! That's it. You see it there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11. I can tidy this up so it's not so rubbish, but if I might just do that now. There you go. So the values that I passed in were 1, 2, 3, 5, 4.56. 4.56 is the mass. Have I put the wrong thing in? Oh, radius. Yeah, I didn't put radius in. Sorry, I forgot. Okay. 5.67 for mass. 9. I missed out parent ref. 11. And then 2, 3 for the y-axis. 5 for the z-axis. 5.67. 12. Kelvin and 13 Earth years. Thank you. All great. I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll be coming back this because I've got to do quite a bit of revising. I'll be doing live chats pretty much on and off for the next 4 days. But I'll be doing one again this afternoon. I've got a few things to do right now. No probs. Speak soon.